Welcome back, everybody. Let's go back to our second half of our European study talk tonight. Since June, Lithuania has attracted more and more attention in Taiwan. Not just because it has donated a lot of like vaccine to Taiwan, but also recently, since probably 2 weeks ago, we have Taiwanese representative office in Lithuania is settled. So I believe there will be more and more connection and interactions between Lithuania and Taiwan. So what about the study? What is look like to study in any college or university in Lithuania? Tonight we have two experts, Ignas and Marius. They will introduce us what it will be like to study in Lithuania. Let's welcome them.
Thank you.
Please.
Hello to everyone who's attending tonight. My name is Ignas, and I am a representative of Study in Lithuania, the Lithuanian National Information and Support Center for International Students. It's a pleasure to talk to all of you today, and I hope that by the end of my presentation, you're convinced that coming to Lithuania and studying in a university or in a college here is a life-changing move that you just have to make. That's my goal of today. Yes, technically it is my job to convince you to come to Lithuania, to convince you that Lithuania is a great place to study at, but I must say that I like my job because I truly believe that Lithuania as a country and Lithuanian universities as education institutions have a lot to offer to young people from all over the world. The country might not be as famous as some other bigger European countries, but because of that, it's still kind of an undiscovered gem of Europe. Lithuania is a lot more affordable, a lot more interesting in some cases, and also it's a country that can make you the most interesting person in the room later when you're talking to your friends, because like anyone can study in France or Spain. That's been done before, but how many people you know that studied in Lithuania? Our countries, Lithuania and Taiwan, have started a close political friendship and cooperation quite recently. So Lithuania is now better known in Taiwan than it previously was. So if you come to live here for a few years, if you come to study here as an international student, just think of all the interesting stories that you'll be able to tell your friends and relatives, and make everyone jealous of your adventures in this little known corner of the world. So, but I'll get to that in just a few minutes. First and foremost, I want to talk a little bit more about study in Lithuania and what is it that, what exactly do we do? So Study in Lithuania is a national information and support center for international students. At Study in Lithuania, we tell all you need to know about study opportunities in this country, and we connect you with some of the best universities here. Universities in Lithuania offer more than 500 English-taught bachelor's, master's, and PhD study programs available for foreigners. The cost of studies is very affordable, and the diploma you receive after graduation is recognized internationally in the entire European Union. And if that's not enough, I just say that studying in Lithuania could be a unique multicultural experience that in a country that connects Western and Eastern Europe. So if you're interested and if you would like to embark on this studying abroad trail, where should you begin? I always say that first, you guys are young. First, you have to think of what you would like to do in life. What do you normally succeed in? What makes you happy? And what are your passions? In other words, what kind of career do you see yourself being really successful in? And once you decide on that, you have to do your research and think of what information and what kind of education would get you closer to this goal and closer to this career. And quite frankly, I bet that there is a university in Lithuania that can help you achieve that. It doesn't matter which career you choose. So since you're already here and you're listening to me talk, it is best for you to use tonight, to use this fair, to use this talk to gather all the information that you can possibly get. Ask questions at the end of this presentation, download promotional materials, and get contact information for later. That's what I'm here for. That's what my colleague is here for. We're here to help and clarify any questions that you might potentially have. And after the fair, I would like to invite you to come to our website. It's stated right there on the slide, www.studyin.lt, where you can find all the information about what exactly do you need to do if you want to study in Lithuania. But let's begin by talking a little bit about the country itself. If you're not familiar with it, and that's okay if you don't know where Lithuania is. You're not alone in this, and it's no surprise, because even though in the Middle Ages, around the 15th century, Lithuania was a huge and famous European state at the peak of its power, the country has suffered from various wars and occupations throughout centuries, the longest of which, the Soviet occupation, lasted for a bigger half of the 20th century. So in other words, for more than 50 years, Lithuania virtually did not exist. Lithuania was erased from the map of the world. So it's no surprise that a lot of people are just now discovering the kind of country that it is. And only recently, for the last 30 years, it has been an independent, democratic nation it always strived to be in the past. So even though historically Lithuania is connected to Eastern Europe for its Soviet past, geographically, Lithuania is actually located in the northern part of European continent. It's located in the northern part, more specifically the Baltic region. It's one of the 3 Baltic states. Lithuania has been a part of European Union and NATO since 2004. The capital city and my home city, Vilnius, has a population of about 540,000 residents. Even though it is the biggest city in Lithuania and it is the capital of the country, it's still quite small and cozy compared to some of the bigger European capitals. The national language of the country is Lithuanian. It's considered to be one of the oldest languages in the world. But the country is bilingual, so you don't have to learn Lithuanian. English and Russian languages are widely spoken, so if you speak English, you have no problem, usually have no problem communicating in Lithuania. The country is not small. However, it is not as densely populated, which leaves a lot of uninhabited nature for hiking and camping during all seasons of the year. Oh yes, and I also should mention that Lithuania has all 4 distinct seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and each of them are beautiful and unique in their own way. In Lithuania, there are 19 universities and 22 colleges. Colleges are also known as schools of applied sciences. This 41 higher education institution offers more than 500 study programs in English and Russian that international students could choose from. All of those study programs are listed on our website, as I mentioned, www.studyin.lt. What kind of programs? Well, the choice, as I said before, is really yours. Think of pretty much any career, and you can most likely kickstart it in Lithuania. Would you like to pilot an airplane, or design buildings, or manage a large business, or become a dentist? Name it, and I bet you can study that in Lithuania. So social sciences, technological studies, biomedical studies, arts and humanities, medicine, engineering, business, media, law, tourism, virtually anything, and so on. And what's even better, you won't be the only foreigner here. International student community in Lithuania is very diverse. There's a lot of international students, especially in Vilnius, the capital, and in Kaunas, the second biggest city. Kaunas is actually also known as the student capital of Lithuania because it's home of a few very significant and very large universities. In fact, there are more than 7,500 foreign students from 127 countries studying in Lithuania today, right now, this academic year. You probably realize that on the slide, it doesn't say how many students are there from Taiwan. That's because there aren't that many. To be honest, today, there are only 3 students in Lithuania studying from Taiwan. 2 are studying medicine at Vilnius University, and 1 is studying communication and digital marketing at Mykolas Romeris University. Which brings me to what I was saying at the beginning. Studying in Lithuania is rare for Taiwanese people. Studying in Lithuania can make you the most interesting person in the room because you will be a rare kind. So why should you consider Lithuania as your study abroad destination? What can Lithuania offer that other countries can't? And I always say that it is a combination of 3 things. It is a combination of great quality of studies and a phenomenal study abroad experience. All of that for a reasonable price. So I would like to talk about price first. Studies in Lithuania are very affordable. I said that before, and I'll say it again. It really is a lot more affordable than in many other places. Studies in many other countries in Europe, such as Germany or France or the Netherlands, could cost you up to 4 times for virtually the same education and the same diploma. And it's not only the studies, but it's also the how much money you need to afford living here. The prices are cheaper. The accommodation is cheaper than in many other places in Europe. And for that price, you get high quality education and knowledge with possibilities leading to employment in the field of your studies in the future. Okay, but how do I pay, right? You ask. Well, you should check out the scholarships section on our website, or you can simply type in scholarships.lt for Lithuania, scholarships.lt in your web browser. There is a list of all available scholarship opportunities in Lithuania, including the national scholarships. Some of those opportunities are available for students of all countries, including the students from Taiwan. Also, once you know where do you want to study and what study program you want to choose, once you decide on the university and the study program, it is also a good idea to directly contact the university that you're planning to study at and to see if they have any scholarships or grants available. Because many universities in Lithuania have policies of lowering the tuition cost for gifted and talented students, or give grants to students based on their academic achievements or like a specific needs. But it really depends on each individual university and each individual study program. So it's tough to say in a short period of time. You would really have to do your research. I was talking about quality. So Lithuania offers a really high quality of studies. Universities are authorized to carry out only state accredited study programs. And these study programs are accredited at least once in 6 years. So at least once, but frequently it's more. What adds a lot to the quality of studies is the possibility to study under the Erasmus Plus program. What this program allows is for students to study abroad yet again up to 2 semesters in another country. Any student in Lithuania, it doesn't matter if you're a local or you're an international student, if you study in a Lithuanian university, you can go abroad to even a different country for 1 or 2 semesters. So up to a year, you can go to, let's say, as I mentioned, France or the Netherlands or Spain or anywhere else really, and study there in their university, and then come back to Lithuania, finish your studies, and graduate. And as I said before, the diploma that students receive after graduating is internationally recognized everywhere in the European Union. And on top of that, on top of quality, studying in Lithuania could be a lot of fun. Lithuania is a small and cozy country, but it's a fun country. It's a safe country. It's affordable and it's comfortable. It's in a really good location. If you're into traveling, it's in a good location to travel all over Europe by airplanes or trains or inner city buses, if you're into that. As I said, it's not as densely populated as many other European countries, so there's a lot of nature. If you're into hiking or camping or just exploring the wilderness, there's a lot of that. In the cities, Lithuania provides free of charge Wi-Fi connection, so really strong Wi-Fi connection in many social places. So not only in your university or your college or the libraries, but also in cafes and restaurants and bars, even some parks and some streets, you can connect to free Wi-Fi. So you will be able to keep in touch with your parents, your families, your friends while you study here. And while you study here, if you're smart and if you're active, there are also work opportunities for students during and after studies. It could turn into a serious career, and it has been done here before. So all in all, you can really have a blast studying in Lithuania. You can become a really interesting person with a unique experience. And later in life, you can look back on this time of you studying in this country and see it as one of your academic and professional cornerstones. So if you're interested, first and foremost, use this moment to talk to us, to get all the information that you can possibly get. Ask questions, visit our stand, download promotional materials, and later come to our website. If you have any questions later, maybe you don't want to ask them now, you can always contact us quite easily. You can send us an email. I've put the email address in the slide, but better yet, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram and send us a message there. We reply, we try to get back to every single student who contacts us and help you with any questions that you have about studying here or living here or anything else really that pertains to higher education in Lithuania. So I hope to see you all in Lithuania as soon as next year, or maybe in 2 years. And thank you for your attention and your time. I think we still have quite a bit of time. So my colleague Marius and myself are available to answer your questions and just to help you in any way that we can. So thank you.
Thank you, Ignas, for bringing us the overview of Lithuania. I think our audience already have the general outlook of information of what it is as a Lithuania. I think we have audience from who is not Taiwanese, but like in general, what would be the application condition for international student?
It's really kind of tough to say because in Lithuania, there's not one unified application system. You would have to sort of pick the university first, and each university is a different separate organization. So each of them has their own criteria for accepting international students, and it also depends on the study program that you choose. I mean, you know, like medicine and social work, they obviously will have completely different requirements. What is best for you to do is to go to our website, and right there is a section that says how to apply. On that section, it gives you sort of like 5 steps that you need to do. Like first you have to pick the study program and pick the university that you're interested in. Once you choose the study program on our website, scroll to the bottom of the description, and it says there's a button that says more information. If you click on that more information button, it will take you to the university's website, and where you can apply and see the exact details and requirements that the university requires from you if you want to study there.
I think in general, today our slides include information are in a general condition to say, but if our audience would like to know any specific programs or any specific university, they should check either on Studying Lithuania's website or platform, or they should visit the school's website as well.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All of the study programs that universities offer for foreign students, they're all listed on our website. So it would be much easier to just go there and see what's available.
Yeah. Some like say degree information might not be so familiar with Taiwanese student, as so far most university only have like probably exchange program or short-term program to Lithuania. So please make use of the Studying Lithuania's platform to find the information you need. Okay, we have another questions about the COVID-19 policy. For example, as any quarantine requirements, or shall they show any vaccine certificate or the proof of vaccinated when they enter Lithuania?
The classes are carried out now. It really depends. Some of the courses are online, so you can technically study in Lithuania without leaving Taiwan. You can. Other classes are offline, and some universities do a hybrid of the two. Students, as I know, all students, including foreign students, can get vaccinated in Lithuania. Now about the certificates, Marius, maybe you would answer this question better. Marius has previously worked at the university. He has a lot of information on this.
Yeah, so hello everyone, my name is Marius, and I also work with Ignas at Study in Lithuania. So in terms of the COVID-19 policy and the current situation in Lithuania, actually Lithuania was one of the countries which managed to contain the pandemic quite well. And we were able to come back to the classrooms this autumn semester, and our students remained in the classes. In order to attend classes, students need to provide what we call COVID certificate, which can be obtained by vaccinated students, or which can be obtained by students which obtain a negative test result, and they can be attending classes. So of course, most of our students, they get vaccinated, and Lithuanian government provides free opportunity for all full-time students from any country in the world to get free vaccination, any type of Western approved vaccination. So if students manage to come to the country without being vaccinated, they can obtain vaccine here in Lithuania while studying. In order to enter the country, students need to provide negative COVID-19 test, and then if they are not vaccinated, they need to be quarantined for 14 days and then take another test. Which is quite normal procedure in most of the countries. So most universities have their own dormitories, and they assign a place for the students to be quarantined. So once the students arrive, they are able to fully quarantine themselves in the student dormitory separately. And after that, they are free to go and get vaccinated if they have not, and attend classes. In terms of Taiwanese students, also, I wanted to mention one thing about the immigration policy, that the holders of Taiwanese passports do not need to obtain a visa in order to enter Lithuania. So Taiwanese citizens of Taiwan, basically with Taiwanese passport, they are able to enter Lithuania just having their passport and application, admission letter. So from the university, they need to provide the admission letter during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, people were able to travel freely without any additional documents, just showing their passport. But now during the pandemic, there are some restrictions, travel restrictions for the third countries. So only students are able to enter the country, providing the acceptance letter from the university and passport.
That's the current regulations for Taiwanese students.
Yes, Taiwanese students, yes.
So I think Ignas has mentioned several advantages to studying in Lithuania. But what about, like, let's be practical. After students graduate from the schools, from the university, they would like to settle down in Lithuania or would like to find a job there. Would it be hard for foreigners to do so? For example, they should speak Lithuanian or other professional
Right.
skill may matter.
Well, first and foremost, the laws have changed because in the past, it used to be that students graduate and then they have to leave the country because their visa is over and that's it. But it's not the case anymore. Students can stay in Lithuania for 15 months after graduating and look for employment opportunities. And Lithuania, as of recent, it's not really recent anymore, but for the past 20 years, it's been a growing hub of not only Lithuanian companies, but a lot of international companies and a lot of international startups. And so there is quite a big job market for foreigners. And there are a lot of foreigners working in Lithuanian companies, but also in international companies that have their offices in Lithuania. It's, as I said, if you're smart and you're practical and you're active, if you look for a job, you will be able to find one.
And maybe I will just add also, most universities during the education process, during the 4 years of education,
right.
They require students to do internships. So quite a few students, find internships in the local companies or international companies which are basing here in Lithuania. And after graduation, they actually get offered a job and they are able to stay. There are companies which offer the job. They take care of all migration procedures and living permission, and students don't have to worry about that. So there are quite a lot of foreigners, foreign students after graduation actually deciding to stay in Lithuania because they are able to find their career opportunities here.
And then if not Lithuania, then the diploma is recognized internationally. So, you can look for employment opportunities elsewhere.
Right.
But I strongly recommend staying. Lithuania is a good place, and it's.
Yeah, let's put it a little bit extended. Let's put it in two ways. First of all, Marius just mentioned the internship opportunity, which might be required or included in the program. Is it a paid internship, and usually how long would it be?
Really depends on the field of study. for example, if we take hospitality study programs, which of course internships will be in hotels, right?
Right.
So most of the times those internships are paid because technically students are just working, assisting in hotels, and they are able to receive salary. However, there are fields where companies just offer students a place for internship, but it's unpaid internship.
Right.
Because they are teaching them, they are training them, and they feel that it has enough value already for the student. But the students are able to work up to 20 hours per week, and they are able to get a part-time job. And there are jobs available in the food industry, in the hospitality industry, in the same, where students do not need to know Lithuanian language in order to work.
Right. I think it's necessary to stress that because Lithuanian is a rare and unique language, and it's not very easy to learn. And I think it scares foreigners, thinking that, if I find an employment, I will have to speak Lithuanian. But no, it's a misconception. There's a lot of jobs that don't require Lithuanian language.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said in my presentation, communicating, you can speak English, and it's no problem. The country is bilingual.
Ignas also mentioned after graduation, student can have 15 more months to find a job. Since you mentioned Lithuania as a language, if a foreign student would like to learn Lithuanian, what would be the channels or the sources they can find? For example, would they be like language center in Ola University, or as any public service they may make use of to improve their Lithuanian?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, some universities offer that. There's also one thing that I would like to recommend for students if they're interested. There's a Lithuanian language and culture summer and winter courses. They're organized by several Lithuanian universities every summer and every winter. It's a 1-month program. Students come to Lithuania and stay here for 30 days. And they learn like a very basic language. They learn a lot about the culture. They get to travel around Lithuania a little bit, see places. And it's a good way to sort of sample studies in Lithuania and see whether or not you would like to come here for your bachelor's or your master's. But 1 month definitely would not be enough for you to learn Lithuanian properly.
Right.
But I've seen foreign students from Georgia, from Ukraine, who come here, and they try and they study. They find courses, and like later maybe they find a job with Lithuanian colleagues, and they start speaking Lithuanian. It is possible. It takes time because it's not an easy language, but it really isn't impossible.
Well, as long as they live there, and then they might acquire little by little, in either in the campus or in life. So
True.
yeah, and then you can basically find like activity or some groups or the societies with to like network with local people to improve your like local language ability.
Sure.
What about age? Is there any age limitation to apply for either bachelor degree or for master program?
I'm not quite sure, Marius. Maybe you can answer this. I don't
Yeah,
think there's any.
I certainly can answer. Our universities do not apply any age limitation, and they do not discriminate people by their age, race, or any other types. So definitely older students are also applying to come and study in Lithuania.
When a student, like foreign student, applying for Lithuania University, do they have to submit like diploma of like authorized diploma?
Yeah, maybe I can answer that.
Sure.
All students, when they are applying to international students applying to Lithuanian universities, and which obtained their previous degree in not in Lithuania, they require to get qualification recognition. Basically, it's a state procedure. Lithuanian Ministry of Education administers this procedure of recognizing their diploma to making sure that the qualification is equal to our qualification, which allows students to apply for a certain level of higher education, bachelor's, master's, PhD. So if the student has graduated, if Taiwanese student from Taiwan, for example, graduated from high school and he's applying for bachelor program, he would need to get recognized his high school certificate in Lithuania before applying.
Only the previous one.
Yeah, the previous one. Yes.
Yeah. So which means if you're going to study bachelor, you have to apply your high school diploma or certificate
Yes.
or transcript.
Yep.
If you're applying for a master, you have to have your bachelor degree authorized. Or
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And the procedure is free of charge, and it's done by the national agency also. And some universities, they actually have the right to do that recognition themselves. So it will be even easier for students.
Yeah. On the screen again, you have the Study in Lithuania's platform, social media, where you can find a lot of like interest stories, some pictures. You can imagine, if you cannot imagine what it is, what it looked like, layered up pictures and to show you the city view, the country view of Lithuania.
Right.
Or
I was
you
gonna
can
say, come to Study in Lithuania Instagram page. That's exactly what it is. If I run it, and I run it for students who want to sort of experience Lithuania before coming to Lithuania. So you get to see the place, you get to learn, watch stories, watch our reels. So you'll get to learn a lot about the study process and about the country itself.
Let's have the last question here. It's about dormitory.
Yeah, I can answer that question easily. So most universities, they have their own dormitories. And of course, all international students, when they get accepted, they are able to get the dormitory space. So it's very different. It varies by university and varies by city where the university is. But most dormitories are quite new, and it has a choice double or triple rooms. And sometimes, of course, students, they choose to rent their own apartment and live with other students just in the city somewhere. So, but university admission offices, university student services, they always help their international students, especially international students, to help find where to stay.
What would be the, like, in general, what would be the cost of accommodation per month?
I would say from 100 to 200 euros per month. And sometimes if we're talking about public universities, their dormitories could cost even cheaper than that. So around 80 euros per month.
Right. It's relatively affordable compared to other European countries.
Yes, definitely.
And how about, is there any like health insurance for students?
Yeah, health insurance. All students require, international students require to have health insurance. And the cost of health insurance right now is around 200 euros per year. So also really affordable price. Cannot even compare to, for example, United States or anything like that. So
it's time to wrap up our session tonight. Again, thank you, Ignas and Marius, coming online with us and bringing us a lot of information about Lithuania, something we don't know before or something we are not familiar. And hopefully we can help those people who like to pursue study in Europe, but still they are not sure where to go. They are not sure about their direction. And we hope this session will help you to plan your future and pursue your degree in Lithuania. The very last one, anything from Ignas and Marius to our audience?
I would just say I hope to see everybody who are listening. I hope to see you in Lithuania next year
Right.
or in 2 years, but come next year.
Also from my side, thank you very much for considering, for coming to listen to us. And we are very, very grateful that we have this connection with Taiwan. And, you know, I
Absolutely.
am sure our friendship will be growing from this. And, you know, all students, and not only students, but all Taiwanese people are very welcome in Lithuania, always welcome. So come and check out our hospitality. You will see that people here are very, very welcoming.
A last reminder, if you are interested to know more information about applying for a university or to study in Lithuania, there's an email on our screen. That's somewhere you can make use of and contact the person, or you can just reach the like your interest program in your in specific university. So thank you for coming up tonight, and we hope we can find out more and more. Probably next year we can have the number grow by 10%, 20%, or very soon see both Ignas and Marius coming to Taiwan and visit our student as well. Thank you
Absolutely.
for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
See
Bye-bye.
you.